All right, starting. All right, after a brief technical difficulty going on, and that's how it's gonna be. And I'm not gonna apologize no more about this no more. It is part of what we do as podcasters and just straight up people overall. All right, so I believe, let's see, checking. You still there? I'm
Yep. Yeah, I'm still here.
still there. All right. I believe that you were still actually going on your possible favorite to win that's not Hiromu.
Wait. Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't mind being a Rumble. I wouldn't have mind. I won't mind at all. I say either him or Shingo.
Shingo?
hmm
Why do you think Shingo's gonna win? If say it's not Hiromu.
Because at the end of that match, Shingo wouldn't even go for the fist bump.
Oh, so you think they're gonna actually pull a Shingo from last year and get him up to the finals and win it?
Hey, could be.
Oh
It
man,
could be.
I'd be in awe. Our dear little friend DZ on Twitter, she would lose her mind if Shingo was to have won. Seriously, she's the biggest Shingo supporter that I've ever seen in my life. And for her to see her beloved dragon just capture that cup, especially after almost just being here a year, that would be a huge deal.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, transitioning from junior to heavy in a span of a year and just winning the heavyweight cup. Oh man, Shingo, how you have come along. Oh man, if I had to pick somebody that outside of Hiromu was gonna win, this is not Zachary Shallow's logic. I think that, and this has been proven time and again, that New Japan would probably go with Daryl Golden Hair himself, and anybody that knows their New Japans knows who I'm possibly talking about.
hmm
He goes by the name of the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. That's
Yeah.
sad to say. Sad to say. I would not be surprised if Okada was the one to win. But I'm having hope that New Japan does the right thing. Okada does not need the cup. I've said it. Jen from Dragon's Den has said it. Other people have said it. This man is the longest reigning IWGP champion. Why does he need the cup again? We need somebody fresh, somebody great and going, and that's Hiromu. That's who I hope will win. Or, and I just came up with this, and I'm smiling like a kid on Christmas Day. One Tomohiro Ishii.
So,
Oh,
oh,
that would make me so happy. Ishii,
finally, finally.
Ishii finally getting that well over needed win of the New Japan Cup. I always said it from the moment I've seen him. This guy is intercontinental material, not only intercontinental material, but heavyweight. Him going for both belts and possibly beating Naito for him. Uh, uh, this is me again. Oh, just taking
Yo,
off my glasses.
yo, yo. You talk about someone who has pretty much been almost there and then never getting another shot. He has been right there, even in his title match with Kenny. he's been he's of course he's held down the never openweight championship. Of course he's been
Mhm.
intercontinental champion. Of course he's been all those things. But the one thing that's eluded him, well, two New Japan Cup winner and IWGP Heavyweight Champion. I mean, come on. I don't know if he's been a New Japan Cup winner. I don't know if he has or not. But this man,
Champion.
this man, give this man his just due. This man has been literally busting his ass for everybody, putting on match of the year classics with just about everybody in the New Japan roster.
Usually, I would actually say this about our dear friend Tiffany. Get the pail, but I will actually pull something that an old friend of mine used to say. And now the tables are turned on to me. Get the pail, ladies and gentlemen, because Zachary Shiloh, if he could actually have a crazy crush, he loves him some Ishii. I will cry tears of joy if Ishii was to have won the New Japan Cup. Literally.
Oh my
So get
god.
the pail for Zachary Shiloh if we actually have Ishii winning the cup.
Yes.
Hold up. Straight up. Straight up. And hi, Tiffany, if you're actually watching this. Hi. All right. Let's see. What else in pro wrestling? Hmm. So, you've actually have you been promoting your stuff a little bit more outside of Conrad? Because I know that you appeared on his show like about a month or two ago.
Yeah.
So who have you actually been in with as far as the podcasters are concerned, outside of Conrad and me?
Well, you basically ran down the whole gang. You mean, look, with Queen, with Fam at DYWTSB. Um, I've done stuff for Mags, um, Blue Riot podcast, uh, Connor Knows Wrestling. Um, I've done stuff for Indie Empire, the cross cover. The Killer cross cover. Um, yeah, I've been just about any and everywhere, man.
Man, and I'm starting to call you the one man gang because you're just like hitting everybody like straight up assassin. You're just like everybody's guest.
I mean,
And
like, bro,
again,
as long as you don't call me Akeem the African Dream, we good.
we are not going that far, man. Nah, 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 nah. I'm saying like you are straight up as an assassin right now. You're just like with everybody. Me, the Conrads, the Badlandses, the Queens. You're just like everywhere. And it just makes me happy completely. All right. So let's get away from the wrestling because that's what people mainly know you and me for whenever we talk. Okay. So let's tie Badlands back in. We actually were on Not for Pro Wrestling when we were on that show together. Mags actually was telling me about this, I think, on the road to that show. That you and I, we were going to be on a special edition called Unchiseled, where it's not the prototypical Rushmores.
Yeah.
It was going to be the two beloved Brits that we love dearly, of course, Mags and Paul. You and me, and we were just going to have these random Mount Rushmores. And I try to remember exactly wholeheartedly what everyone's was. I know mine was pro wrestlers who actually were MMA fighters. Uh, I think Mags was comic movies.
Yeah.
Paul's was inventions. Oh, I remember yours. Oh, well, yeah, yeah. Yours was worst themes that we ever heard in our lives.
Uh, now that you mentioned that, it just brought back to my. You just brought that back to my memories, man. Oh,
oh, oh man, that was the one that made me split my gut the most. Oh man, worst themes, and uh, I think I said that the worst theme that I ever heard was maybe Mandy Rose. I did.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, that's what it was.
and somebody chimed in with it sounds like porno music.
It- dude, if you really listen to it, it really does sound like something from the 70s and 80s porn music, bro. Just straight
Yeah, I
saxophone,
remember. I
just
was
straight.
dying laughing. I was like, "Oh no, this is horrible!" And this is supposed to be a kids show. It's supposed to be a kids
Bro.
show. WWE.
Dude,
Now you got even more no rights to actually call yourself PG or a kids show. Like
nah,
you actually got pornographic silent music. Horrible.
bro.
Oh man. All right, so continuing in that realm, we actually have a love for the comic culture as a whole. So, how did you actually get into that?
Watching X-Men. Watching the X-Men and Spider-Man whenever it came on Fox Kids in the 90s. That was really what got me into it. And then I found a couple of comics laying around the house, and I was like, uh-huh, uh-huh. And then that led to, of course, what we know and love today, the MCU, starting with Iron Man, and pretty much almost every movie in between. Pretty much almost the comic movies that were quote unquote cult classics. They were pretty much they kind of wouldn't hold up to what is going on right now in the MCU. But yeah, it all started with like shows like Fantastic Four, X,
Oh,
Spider Man, Incredible Hulk. Oh, you name it. Just I've just about watched it.
oh man, you are speaking to little Zachary Shiloh right now, but I remember those shows like they were just yesterday. Oh man. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, to some degrees or another, those shows they actually have composers that actually have worked on other shows like King Arthur and the Knights of Justice and Power Rangers. Believe it or
Mm-hmm.
not, seriously, I suggest people if you are serious about those shows, and we'll be talking about Power Rangers shortly. That's another thing we got in common. But look up the name Shuki Levi, spelled
Mm-hmm.
Shukilevy. That guy has made music for those shows, Power Rangers, Masked Rider, uh, Big Bad Beetleborgs, what else? VR Troopers.
Like, bro, you name it, he's done just about everything. You name it, he's done it.
Uh-huh. And this really made my jaw drop. As I was actually watching King Arthur and the Knights of Justice season 1 for the first time in many, many years, I'm looking up his credentials and I even see other shows that I've actually watched, including a 1980s classic called Punky Brewster. I said, "What? You actually made music for that show too? Wow!"
Yo,
If I could ever get Shuki Levi on this show, I will ask him questions about that and more. And I'm holding myself to it. I'm gonna try and get him the best I can, if I truly can, and I believe I can. Oh man, I remember those shows. Oh, they were outside of Power Rangers my favorite stuff to watch.
Dang, man.
Oh man. And Shuki Levi, I love him to death for actually making those songs. Oh man. Especially the X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, do you remember X-Men season 1 where Wolverine was actually going to the infirmary where Sabretooth was lying in bed? Do you remember that thing that was going off as Wolverine was getting ready to go in?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Years later, and I was watching it. I said, "Oh my god, they gave Wolverine this James Bond-esque theme." Seriously. Anybody that's watched X-Men, go back to season 1, and there's a scene where Wolverine's walking towards the infirmary because Sabretooth got knocked out, and Wolverine and Cyclops brought him back to the X mansion, and there's this theme, and it's going like something such as this. Doom, 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 doom. I remember being like maybe 5 or 7, somewhere between there. And I'm hearing this, and it just logged in my brain forever, forever,
Yeah.
because it sounded so rough, so tough. Like Wolverine was getting ready to do his business, and
Oh
every
yeah.
single time throughout the seasons, whenever Wolverine was almost going into a scene, that thing would come back like doom, 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 doom. Like they literally remixed the actual X-Men theme song and turned it into James Bond. And
Wow.
how fitting, how fitting it is for Wolverine because he's the James Bond-esque character.
Pretty
Like
much.
he's an assassin, straight up. Oh, oh, that's another thing that kind of pissed me off with that show. They actually could not have Wolverine slashing dudes.
For
They could
real.
do that with Sabretooth. They could not do.
Uh,
Oh man. And these two are the immortals of that entire franchise. Like they could heal up from injuries that would kill a man.
for
Like what
real.
is it? That's one thing of X-Men that I actually criticize heavily. Heavily. Not actually making their healing powers as strong as it could be. And I actually did not notice until like as an adult. As a kid, I thought it was just cool just seeing them do what they got to do. But then as an adult, I said, come on, come on. what,
It's
what is this?
funny.
Ladies and
It's
gentlemen?
funny. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny that things that we used to watch when we were kids, we were like, "Oh man, this is cool." And then later on, as an adult, we realized, "What the hell are we watching? What was this? What
That
was
is
this?"
that is the truth. But anybody that is curious about what we're talking about, and you have not actually grew up in the 1990s, and you do have Disney Plus, this is a
Mm-hmm.
cheap plug. Please go watch X-Men the animated series. That is considered one of the top 5 animated series of all time.
That was one of the first things I did when I watched Disney. When I got Disney Plus, I sat right there and I looked at X Men. I looked at Ducktales, bro. Oh my god.
Oh man! Now that now that I'm actually talking to you about it, it makes me actually want to subscribe to Disney Plus. Oh man, because I already was like on the fence about certain things, but I want to watch some X Men. I want to watch.
Do it,
Oh
do it,
man!
dude. It's like the best use of $7. It's one of the best use of $7, man. Do it.
Oh man! And anybody that's watching this, please do the same. Oh, all right. So we've talked about the comic culture a smidge. Staying in that realm, Have you seen any other shows like that, like the X Men's, the Spider Man, and everything?
Ah, I kind of haven't for like the past few years. I did watch a little bit of Black Panther whenever it was on Disney XD. The Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Assemble. I kind of was watching that, but then it just didn't really catch my attention the way that our shows from the '90s did, and well, the movies did.
Oh man, I actually used to watch the Disney XD stuff, but I think it was after the original Avengers went bye bye, meaning the Iron Man, Black Widow, the ones that we are used to, ladies and gentlemen, in the movies in animated form. They went somewhere else, and then the likes of Black Panther,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Wolverine, I think, Red Hulk, and many others took their place for a while. I
Yeah.
was watching that season, and then I couldn't keep up because of stuff like the pro wrestling coming around.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta definitely get back into that. Thank God for Disney Plus. Another cheap plug. Cheap plug. Thank God for Disney Plus. Have you watched the DC stuff, like animated forms?
other than other than Batman and Superman and the Justice League, Teen Titans, Young Justice, Static Shock. Um, Other than that, no. Even I've been watching the occasional Flash and Arrow. Other than any of that, nah.
I hear you. I hear you. I actually still have to try and watch certain things like the actual DC animated movies
Mm-hmm.
that came from the new 52 style of artwork.
Uh,
I think the last time that I watched one of those films was it's definitely after Son of Batman. Oh, I remember now. I remember the one where Batwoman makes her animated debut.
oh yeah, yeah.
So I gotta start catching up with them because almost everybody and their mama was talking about how certain things have led up to Apocalypse War, and they're
Mm.
trying to put out spoilers, and Zachary Shiloh is not having any of that. So whenever I get the chance, maybe later on or sometime during this week, I'm getting on DC Universe and I'm actually gonna watch them because that is a must for me. A huge must. All right. We've hinted at this in the beginning and maybe throughout points of the show. We are Power Rangers and Super Sentai fans. And Chris actually called me out on this on Twitter several times. That I actually should talk about this a little bit. And I said, okay, why not? So, uh, when did you truly start along with it? Did you actually watch Mighty Morphin as it aired, or did you come along some time after?
As it aired, as it aired, dude. I sat right in front of that TV whenever it started coming on, and ever since then, I've been, I've been, I've been pretty much on it since up
Oh,
until like I'd say right around Super Mega Snore. I mean Super Mega Snore.
Super Mega Fail. Oh man. God bless the makers that tried to do that show. All right. So anybody that's followed this show for, I would say, the last year, they know my origin to some degree, but I'll give it a refresh. I am actually in the same age bracket. Me and Chris Weir are the same age. So we actually watched at the same time. I remember when PR, Mighty Morphin, their season 2 and 3 premieres,
Mm-hmm.
respect. They were on at night.
Yeah,
At night. We're talking pitch dark, ladies and gentlemen. This is not
like
daytime. This is like
8 o'clock
nighttime.
p.m. prime time TV.
Primetime TV, babe. I remember bugging my parents out. Can I please stay up for this? Can I please stay up for this? And they said yes. God bless my parents if they actually are hearing my voice being super loud right now. I remember those nights,
But
and
after
they
that, you going to bed
yes,
because you
and I
got
went to
school
bed
in the
straight.
morning.
I went to bed straight after. Oh man, and I've been with this entire franchise exactly as long as Chris has. I think the only season that I truly did not watch from start to finish as it aired was Mystic Force, because around then that's when Harry Potter was coming out and getting so big, and my quote unquote religious beliefs kept me away to some
I mean,
degree.
I'm not exact. I'm a Christian and I still watch Harry Potter, and it ain't got no effect on. It really don't have an effect. I still don't watch it to this day because I've seen just about every single movie, and and God bless the fandom of Harry Potter. Real. Oh my God, I don't
But
I don't know.
I did actually catch Mystic Force eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of, I believe, when I truly first started watching the Super Sentais. I remember, not Mystic Force, Lost Galaxy at some point.
Mm-hmm.
There was a return of Jason and Zach, or Austin St. John and Walter Jones.
Yeah.
And there was this brief recap special, and they aired the unedited version of what became Day of the Dumpster, the original Power Rangers episode. I remember from that actual show being told about Super Sentai. They were revealing some of the behind the scenes stuff. And for years, I kind of found it funny that certain things like more footage
Mm-hmm.
was not how can I say this, live.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. It makes sense. So I would not watch the Sentai for years on end. I think I truly came into the Sentai roughly. All right, that Lost Galaxy special aired in '99, I think. So Mega Force was around in uh, 2013, so roughly over 10 years, maybe 14 years.
Right
Oh
around.
man. And Mega Force, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the worst seasons I ever seen in my life. From episode 1, that's what killed it. Episode 1 killed it. Not killed it in the sense, ladies and gentlemen, like, oh, it's awesome. No, no, no. Bad storytelling from episode 1. They tried to rehash Day of the Dumpster.
They
That
really.
was one. That was strike one. But when they actually got to the command center, that's the end of the show, babe. That's the end of the show right there and then. Because you can see these ranger keys
Mm-hmm.
on the, and there was no battle. No battle for them. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get into my Super Sentai a little bit, and then Chris can elaborate on his. All right, Mega Force forced me to watch Gokaiger.
Mm-hmm.
I already watched Jew Ranger in full. I think the year before that, and I wanted to understand the story of Mega Force, or what should have been Mega Force. So I'm watching Gokaiger, and they're doing the legendary battle. For anybody that does not watch this stuff, all right, all of the Super Sentai teams going back from Goseiger to the very first team of Go Ranger, they all came together to defend our planet against the what was going to be called Zanyak forces,
Hmm.
and they would lose their powers in the battle to protect our planet. Some odd years later, or maybe a year later, these space pirates would come to our world with the powers of the Super Sentai teams
Yeah.
in the form of Ranger keys. So Zachary Shiloh was watching this, and I'm saying to myself, you, you took something that was gonna be awesome, and you turned it into turd. You really did. Oh man. So Mega Force, they rushed Gokaiger over Goseiger, and Goseiger already had their own super forms.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this like, why? Outside of toy sales,
Yeah.
why? Why did you just rush Goseiger to make it become Gokaiger? Why couldn't you just have stuck with Goseiger, which was not a bad season of its own?
It really wasn't.
It they already had that ultra mode. I thought that was one of the best. But going to the Gokaijas, oh man, oh man. That's just straight up no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. You got the Ranger keys in the command center, and there's no story behind them.
I was getting ready to say that, and you didn't even say one how you got the Ranger keys, and two this the one thing that pissed me off about Mega Snore. Um, he pretty much just said I'm a mentor of Zordon. Where?
That's another thing. That's another
Like,
thing that just made me
like,
say no. That made
like
me say no.
Zordon,
You're
like
just a freaky tiki with a wall E.
yeah, exactly. That's basically what it is. And I'm like, oh, where? Where were you? How were you taught by Zordon whenever Andros pretty much said, whenever he said, you know what, for the good of the universe, you know what to do, destroy me. Like, where were you in that time frame? Were you
I
some?
still don't.
Were you growing up with a little disembodied head of a tiki on the planet Eltar? Like you were you literally sitting under the learning tree of Zordon? It was like, oh my gosh, Zordon, when I get when I get older and become a bigger ass tiki head, I'm gonna learn so much from you. Like,
Oh man. All right. So I actually have seen all the Sentais because of Mega Force or Mega Fail. Where did you really start with the Super Sentai bit?
funny enough, it I didn't start with Super Sentai. A friend of mine, one of my former roommates in my freshman year of college, he gave me he let me watch Kamen Rider the first.
What?
And yeah, he let me borrow the movie Kamen Rider the first. And from there, that's when it started. It started with the actual Sentai, it started with Geki Ranger.
Oh,
Geki
that
Ranger Geki Ranger is one of the seasons that I hold near and dear to my heart because it was one that got me on the road to Super Sentai, and then going right into Go On, and then right into quite possibly my favorite of the Sentai genre, Shinkenger.
and anybody that does not know what we're talking about the source footage for Power Rangers Jungle Fury
Jungle
and
Fury.
Power Rangers Samurai.
Yeah,
Continue. Okay.
Don't get me started on Power Rangers Samurai. Like you took something that was strictly made for Japan. It was like slathered in Japanese culture from the Zords to the Moshikara to the villains on down. Everything was just slathered up in good old Japanese culture. And yet, what the Power Rangers do? They have a white guy playing a Japanese guy. Yeah,
That's the that's the truth.
you have a white guy take up the last name Shiba. Like, I mean, no offense to anybody who does that. They might be married into it and all that, but that's what you do. That's what you do. That
Mhm.
you do. But no, you have the voice. You pretty much had Emperor Grum become pretty much cardboard. Pretty much just a wooden mentor. Like, no, no, just no.
Oh God. Oh God. Samurai. Oh, samurai, samurai, samurai. How do I feel about Power Rangers Samurai? I'm kind of like, eh, especially after watching Shinkenger, which
Mm-hmm.
was a good season in its own right. Oh man, Samurai in comparison to Shinkenger, I would take Shinkenger over it. Period. Period. But my favorite Sentai of all time, oh, hands down for me, is Bo Kenjin. Bo,
Mm-hmm.
which is the source footage of one of the most hated Power Rangers seasons of all time called Overdrive.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. I remember watching Bo Kenjin, and this is years after Overdrive is over, and I said, wow, this is way better than Overdrive. Way
Night,
better.
night and day.
Oh man, we got Japanese Indiana Jones style crew right here. This is awesome.
You
And
pretty much hit the nail on the head though. Bo Kendrick is Japanese version of Indiana Jones, a 5 person Indiana Jones.
oh man, and then eventually it became six of them. I
Yeah.
remember actually writing one of their quotes. Let me see if I can find it. Is it there? Is it there? I remember them actually saying something along the lines of, "We formed this team to find treasure, and not only treasure, but what matters to each of us." And when they said that line, I lost my mind. I said, that is probably the best thing that anybody has ever said. Bottom line. Like, okay, what you believe to be treasure is not treasure to everybody. And that's true to life. That is true to life. This
Those
is
are facts.
this is Gokaiger before Gokaiger was cool.
Yeah. Basically.
I remember watching Vulcan Red show up on the actual series of Gokaiger.
Mhm.
I think this is maybe, yeah, this is definitely after the 199 Heroes movie.
Mhm.
And just seeing him with Captain Marvelous, I said, yeah, these two are basically each other. Except
Basically.
that Captain Marvelous is a more younger braggadocious uh, Vulcan Red.
Yeah.
I said, this is great. This is even better than I thought.
I was like, yeah, yeah. And then the more I
Oh
saw the season,
man.
I'm like, oh, yep.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. All right. In that respective, we can kind of go back to the Power Rangers bit. Uh, what have you thought of the franchise getting to the point where it is now?
It needed that. It pretty much needed that change because Saban pretty much was just running out of ideas with Ninja Steel. It was just running out of ideas, and Hasbro. When I first thought about, heard about them going to Hasbro, I'm like, I'm like, but then the very first episode of Beast Morphers came on, and I was like,
Oh,
like
yeah. Let's
okay,
talk about BM for a while. All right. Beast Morphers, for me, fresh air.
yeah,
After many years of morals of the day that just did not click. Like
yeah.
the Mega Forces, the Ninja Steels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. If I could recommend a Power Rangers series that takes place in the 2000s, that's not from Saban era, the original Saban era to Disney eras, I would say Beast Morphers hands down because it almost sounds like they know what they're talking about from episode one. I remember in episode one that they touched upon Power Rangers history.
Mm-hmm.
Like they literally acknowledged the Lord Zeds, the Ritas, the Morphin Grid itself.
Yeah, man.
And I'm telling you, as I'm taking off my glasses, I don't think at that point in time I was wearing glasses yet. But this is my legit reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And it just grew from there. You got characters on this show that are not Rangers, and I love them to death. Like
Yeah,
Commander Shaw. God bless the actress that plays Commander Shaw. That is just so awesome that we got a mentor, not only a mentor, but she's a female, like
yeah,
an actual female mentor. And she's the mom of one of the Rangers.
yeah. First, when I
We
first
got
heard about that shit right there threw me for a loop, yo. I was like, hold up, hold up, wait, you're the blue. He's like, yes, sir, mom. I mean, Commander. I was like, what? Like, okay,
I
all right,
loved it. I loved it. They hit it out of the park in episode one.
yeah,
Number one, we got the commander that's the mom of the Blue Ranger. We got the mayor who's the father of the Red Ranger. And then,
uh-huh.
like, not even, I think, 2 or 3 episodes in, we got the mother of the Yellow Ranger who's a TV reporter.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah,
you actually did what you could not get right in Ninja Steel. And some people may actually give me a little bit of flack in the Power Rangers community for these next few words, but I'm gonna even say it anyway. Even in Dino Charge, you could not get this right
yeah,
either. Like
yeah. You.
parents that are around for their kids, not
Mm-hmm.
going off somewhere across the world to help fight off the bad guys or just not show up at all.
Right, right.
Oh my god. And I've actually am a subscriber of Japan Anime, and he's actually said this time again, and I think even Orange Ranger, who I'll both give credit to, that Dane Romero, or yeah, Dane Romero, the dad of the Red and Gold Rangers from Ninja Steel.
Oh
Where
yeah.
was he? Where was he after his sons set him free? Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. He could have been a mentor to these kids. The world's greatest ninja
Yeah.
is an epic fail.
Oh,
Epic fail.
yo,
The only
that
thing. Go ahead.
that
I'm sorry.
that, and we're going right back to the Japanese counterpart, Ninja. Their dad and their grand and the Ninja's grandfather have something in common. They're hardly even there until like the last couple
Oh
of episodes.
yes, yes. The grandfather. I love him more than any other character on that show. People give the ninja flack, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But the grandfather was the star of the show. I don't care what anybody says. They can say that the Rangers were the stars of the show. No, the grandfather was it for me. If people seen the Three Ninjas movies from the 90s, I would say that the grandfather of the ninja was based off that character. The grandfather from the Three Ninjas. Because he would be appearing and disappearing like smoke. Like the grandfather from Three Ninjas.
Yep.
God. Oh God.
He freaking show up from out of nowhere. He's like, I want y'all to do something about your mentality. Because we have to bring love and peace to the world through our mentality. I'm like, yeah, okay. But yeah, you're gonna bring love and peace to the world when you got a blockhead for a leader.
Oh man. Beast Morphers just aired some of their most recent stuff outside of America. Thank God I was able to watch. Oh man. And I would say that if anybody is a Power Rangers fan and they actually want to watch this stuff, please watch from episode 9 forward to 13 because I'm not giving spoilers. I'm not. But let's just say like episode 9 through 13 is exactly what a Power Rangers movie would be. Major moments captured. And it still boggles my mind, especially that Dino team up, quote unquote. I'm not going into spoilers. I'm not. Not for anybody that's a Power Rangers fan or aspiring ones. You have to watch it to believe it. Me, excuse me. This is exactly what happened. Oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. Have you watched it?
I've watched bits and pieces of it, but I haven't watched the entire thing. But I'm definitely going to watch it, bro. Believe me, I'm going to watch it.
You will not be disappointed. From episode 9 all the way up until the actual Dino team up, it is like a clockwork movie. Like you will almost understand the Dino team up even better from 9 through 12 because they started hinting at stuff in 9 and they truly got it at like almost peak heat for 12. And then 13 shows up, you're like, wow, okay, that makes sense. Like how this happened, that happened. All right. Now what's the rest of the season gonna be like? I don't know. I'm hoping it's gonna just keep that heat coming. Whew.
If they keep the same energy like they did from episodes 1 to 8, it's gonna be a good name.
Uh-huh. It is. It is. 1 to 8 was pretty good, but it's like the second half was wildfire. Like
Yeah.
you did not understand that big cliffhanger at the end of 9. I mean 8, excuse me. But then they just like capitalized on it from
Hmm.
9 forward. I could not say too much other good stuff about Beast Morphers. Seriously, it's my one of my top favorite seasons of all time. Hands down, just from episode 1. They got it right. They got it right. From the introduction of the characters to what happened. And now when it goes bye-bye at the end, truly, I will miss it. I will miss it like a dear departed family member
Hmm.
because it was so well written. And WWE, ladies and gentlemen, if you're pro wrestling fans, can take notes from Power Rangers Beast Morphers on how to actually engage an audience and evolve stories.
Fact.
He can recommend it, so can I. And this is somebody that used to love WWE, like hard body. But then all of a sudden, some odd years ago, bad storytelling. And this is not just about Shinsuke Nakamura on
Hmm.
my end. It's not about Nakamura. This is other talent who came before him,
Yeah.
way before. But I could delve into that a little bit further on my own, and people will probably understand me a little bit better. But, anyways, all right. We actually are Power Rangers fans. And one thing about our fandom that kept us going was the Boom Studios comics.
Hmm.
The comics, baby. Woo! Get the fan, get the pail, get the mop for me. Because, oh my God, I cannot express how much I love those comics. From the very first one, issue 0, with Kyle Higgins, all the way through now, I'm just loving it. And to some degree or another, I did enjoy Beyond the Grid, which many would say was the crappiest arc of all time. And I will not disagree. I will not disagree. But I liked it at points. Like the core team of Rangers in that arc were some of my favorites outside of Mighty Morphin. Oh man. You have Mac Defender, the Ranger Slayer,
Yeah.
Zeo, uh, Green Samurai from Ninja Storm, uh, Red Astro. Who else? I think that's about it. What did they? Oh, they had Heckle. Heckle from Dino Charge or Dark Ranger,
Oh yeah.
but he was a comic exclusive.
Oh no. Oh
Comic
damn.
exclusive.
Damn.
He was be featured in Dino Charge series, but for some odd reason, he never showed up as a Ranger. And that's still one of the biggest mysteries in PR. Like, what happened to the Dark Ranger?
Right.
Why did he show up in his actual season? Oh man. Did you actually read the finish to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover?
I did not. I have to read that.
You have to as soon as you can. My mind is like saying to itself, there's gotta be a sequel. There's gotta be a sequel to this. Seriously. Especially with how they actually ended off. I'm not spoiling it for anybody. If you are a Power Rangers fan and you grew up with the Ninja Turtles, you're doing yourself an injustice not reading these comics. If you are a comic book fan, it is your childhood fused as one.
Man.
Oh my God. I still cannot believe issue 1. Like, the Turtles exist in the Boom Studios world. The Rangers exist in the Turtles world.
Yeah, that enough right there is just mind blowing to say the least.
And one thing about the comics from Boom Studios that I love is not just the writing, but the exclusivity of stuff. Like the Ranger Slayers, the Lord Dragons, the Solar Rangers. I'm not going into anything with the Turtles, but please read it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going there. You're doing yourself an injustice if you don't read it, because there is so much comic exclusive stuff in that arc alone. Just that arc alone. You would just say to yourself after one issue, eh, excuse me, this is exactly what happened. Oh, I gotta keep on reading this. And it was only 5 issues. Like, I thought it was possibly gonna be 6.
Just be honest, they need to be.
Oh man. And if Ryan Parrott ever listens to this, please, please, I'm asking you. And I met you at Comic Con last year. Please, please, if you can, continue the story, because you left off with 2 big moments that scream to be continued. Be continued. Oh man. What did you think of Go-Go ending, if you actually have read it?
I have not read that.
Oh,
You're pretty much exposing me to stuff that I haven't read, and I might need it. I'm going to, and believe me, I'm going to at least take a look at it.
oh, you should. Go-Go ending felt like the Ninja Turtles ending. Like, excuse me, this is the end. This is the end of the series. This feels like to be continued. Oh man, that's one thing I love about Boom Studios. They leave you wanting more.
Got you.
Oh, oh man, from the artwork to the storytelling.
Mm.
Go and get the pail, go get the mop, go get the fan, go get anything and put me together like Humpty Dumpty. Because I will vouch for this forever. And pro wrestling can learn from Power Rangers or Boom Studios on how to hook people in and keep them coming back for more. And it's not just WWE. Places like Impact could definitely benefit from that too.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody from Impact or WWE is ever listening to this, please go and read Boom Studios comics and learn from them how to do your stories correctly. And then you'll start seeing people say, okay, it's like Lucha Underground. Let's keep on coming back. Let's keep on coming back. Okay, so what arcs have you read in full from Boom Studios?
I haven't really read none of this stuff, but when I've heard and what I've seen, I need to get on it like ASAP.
Oh man, if you have not read like from the beginning, I would say go from issue 0, which is the very first issue.
Okay.
And then it will build upon itself. It's like stuff that you never seen in the TV show. Almost basically from episode 0. And then it eventually bleeds over from Mighty Morphin into Go-Go. And then you'll start understanding more. Like, okay, this happened in Mighty Morphin. Okay, I understand that from the Go-Go point. And then if you read Go-Go, you'll understand Mighty Morphin a little bit better. Just saying, oh, okay. They explain this even better in Go-Go. And you'll just like put the dots together like
Gotcha.
me, I say the best storyline that they've done was Shattered Grid. Shattered Grid is a classic. Okay, without giving away mega spoilers, if anybody has watched the X-Men movies, there is a film called Days of Futures Past.
Yeah.
And that was a comic. Also, an actual, I think, 2-part episode of the animated series. Take that storyline and make it into the world of Power Rangers from issue 24, I believe, all the way through. All right, White Ranger comes along. Post Shattered Grid, post Beyond Grid. Okay, I believe that this is why you actually have internet, folks. If you're actually confused, go and Google it. Go and Google it. Go and Google it. Because, yeah, sure, I'm a knowledge magnet to some degrees or another, but it does not hurt to back myself up. Okay, Shattered Grid, I believe that started on issue 24, but they really more so say that it was on 25. All right. Today plays internet. Thank you very much. Oh, hi, Wikipedia. Thank you very much for your help. All right. I was correct in my mind. I was right. Okay, from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 24 through issue 30. That's Shattered Grid on their end.
Nice.
From Go-Go 8 through 12, that is Shattered Grid on that part. They actually had a free comic book day issue that tied everything together. I recommend it. Then they did this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers annual from 2018, which is about Power Rangers, but not specifically the Mighty Morphin team. I'm not gonna say who in particular, but let's just say if you're a Power Rangers fan and you love certain teams, you may actually be happy with who they were centered around. I am very happy. Very happy. And then the Shattered Grid finale pretty much sums up the whole entire thing. So let's see. Mighty Morphin was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 37 issues, roughly. And then Go-Go was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5. So that's about like 12 right there. Like maybe 15 comics overall. And if you are truly an X-Men fan, read it kind of like you would with Days of Future Past. From the moment that something happens in 24, I'm not telling you all what happened. No, you have to read it. If you're a Power Rangers fan, seriously, you have to go read it. I'm still in awe nearly 2 years later. And I remember watching this panel, or more so listening to audio from a panel where they actually did give out free copies of 24 to the crowd. And some people were like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Why? Why? And Kyle Higgins has explained it. Do not watch that panel unless you truly don't care about spoilers. Do not watch that panel because you will be kind of asking yourself questions right there and then. Like, why? Why? Wait until you're done reading Shattered Grid. Then you can curse out Kyle Higgins all you want. All you want. But read the stuff. Truly take it in with a salt of what's the phrase? With a grain of salt. Do not take it to heart. Remember that it's a comic. After all, they do certain things to get you to read it. And the actual result will make you happy. But then I recommend you go and find this thing where Kyle Higgins was talking at WonderCon 2008. And he explains what happened completely. And if you want to go even further, I recommend this Power Rangers podcast called Ranger Danger podcast. Kyle Higgins was a regular guest on that podcast for his whole entire Power Rangers run. From 24 onward, he gives his reasoning as to why certain events happened the way they did. So that's Zachary Shiloh's actual recommendation. The straight up after effects of Shattered Grid, it's not quite so loved by many of the Ranger community because of a certain writer that came after Kyle Higgins left. They felt the storytelling was not on the level of Kyle Higgins' storytelling. I liked it. Would I say it's better than Kyle Higgins? No. No. But it was worth. Beyond the Grid, it did continue that mystique that Kyle Higgins did bring to my thoughts and recollection and heart. That's my opinion. Now, if you read Beyond the Grid, please go into it with an open mind. Please go into it. Do not shit on it because it's not Kyle Higgins.
Right.
Remember, it's done by somebody else from the comic industry who has created a character that is being loved in the DC realm to some degrees or another. I won't name who, ladies and gentlemen. But if you type in the writer's name and you've actually seen the CW, the end of the game, you'll actually get the dots connected. And you'll understand why some people may catch some flack with it. But I liked it. The current series, Necessary Evil, I loved it. I'm gonna be almost crying tears Wednesday when that Mighty Morphin 50 hits stores, or in my case, hits my Kindle. Oh man, I'm gonna be crying because that was so well done. And again, it continues that legacy of messing with the Power Rangers paradigm as you know it. It's telling a story that's never been seen on TV. And WWE and so many other pro wrestling companies that actually do not understand what good writing is should sit the writers of these comics down. And same thing with the artists.
Yeah.
Because those artists, like Chris, they actually bring out the fire. And you just say to yourself, "Damn!" That is just straight up gangster. Seriously. I love talking Power Rangers with you. I need other people like you on my show. Seriously. Besides you and Matt Willis. Oh, hi Matt, if you're actually listening. I know he's actually giving me shout outs on his show here and there, so I thought I'd give him some respect. All right, Social Christensen on Twitter. What can I do for you going forward, pal? What can I do for you?
Uh, just con- well, just continue to support. Just continue to throw ideas at me, and edit wise or whatever. If you have some kind of crazy idea, I can do the best I can to at least jot it down and get it to as close to what you can get it. It may not be perfect the way you want it, but I can get you there. But yeah,
Yes,
continue to support.
I believe that wholeheartedly, and that's why I trusted you with making my show's logo, because you were the best artist on Twitter, and if anybody could just bring out my vision, even though I didn't verbalize what it was, you were the man to go to, and you told me time and again after Badlands if I needed something, you'd be there, and I thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, I will plug some of his stuff. So, again, this is the Orange Cassidy t-shirt that Chris has made. And you can find it on tpublic.com. Just type in Orange Cassidy and it should take you to Chris's store. I bought this thing last year before New York Comic Con, and I knew I had to have it because Chris has always done right by me, and I wanted to support him. It's very great to wear, very comfortable, and it does not fade away. I've had this thing over a year, and it still looks great. It's almost like having a shirt from Ring of Honor or New Japan. And I said this to my fiance, Mel Mel, my very first one when she was on. I still am in awe that my Homicide shirt from Ring of Honor that says 187 is still good nearly 20 years later.
Wow.
Like literally, I literally have to do a Black Lions eyesight where I just show you all my shirts and you'll just say to yourself, what? You've had this for maybe the next amount of years and it still looks good? Like, how do you do it? I probably just say this. I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is that this thing is good for me. Maybe you shouldn't just have to wear your t-shirts all the time. That's how I go about my business. But
Yeah.
seriously, that's going to be an episode of Eyesight where I literally take out my shirts that are pro wrestling related and just say, okay, I got this from GCW, I got this from Ring of Honor, I got this from New Japan or wherever. And just go have fun with it. All right, so the last thing on the docket, and I always ask this to my guests, and I believe I've started saying this maybe with Mags of Conrad, or maybe a smidge after the Corona. What are your hopes for the future?
Well, as far as us as a people, be better people, treat each other better, do better. And as far as like my artwork goes, hopefully I can get at least. Hopefully, one of my goals is to get at least one of my designs on Pro Wrestling Tees or WWE Shop or Ring of Honor Shop or wherever.
WWE Ring of Honor, any pro wrestling promotion in the world, if you truly are watching this guy is talented. To not feature him at all, you are doing yourself a great disservice. You are doing us pro wrestling fans or sports entertainment junkies, as some people would say, injustice. He is hands down the best artist in our industry, in your industry. Hire him. And there's plenty of people that can vouch for him. That's not just me. We got Mags from Why We Watch in Badlands, the Queen of NE, who is the number one female pro wrestling head in podcasting.
Right.
Her cohorts in Pops and More on a DWY. Say it correctly for me, please, because I'm starting
D
to.
DYWTSB. Did you write
Thank
this?
you. Do you write that shit, bro? There we go. That's what it's actually standing for. Okay, let me say it again. Do you write that shit, bro? Podcast. Who else can vouch for him? The Dragons Den women. I would say DZ on Twitter. My team take no shit partner, the Advent Tracy Myers, Adam Brown. So many of us, we've been touched by this man's gift, what he was put on the earth to do. And if you don't hire him, you are missing out on something that is a blessing upon your products, because he's made us more fans of your products than you yourselves kind of have done. But still, if these words are meant kindly, please hire him, because he can bring the heat for you.
Man, I appreciate it, but I appreciate it. I can't take all the credit. All glory goes to God, so I can't take all the credit.
I hear you, pal. Real shit. Everybody that knows you and loves you would say the same thing. And I, again, truly appreciate your work and everything that you've done for me, especially after I came back from my hiatus. After my hiatus, it was like I never left. You and I, we were almost talking every single day, and
Yeah.
we still are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's Black Baymax on Twitter. Black_Baymax8. Let's say that correctly if you're going to find him on Twitter. I am Black Lion 130 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My name, if you do not remember or would like to hear it for the first time, is Zachary Shiloh. I host this crazy show called Black Lions Airspace. I have a YouTube version of it called Black Lions Eyesight. I've been doing this thing now over a year, and the last few words I'm about to say, I've been saying this, I gotta believe, since February. There's one goal, one aim, one road, one focus, and that's pretty much love, especially in this nasty hodgepodge time that we've been living in since March. Truly. Please do not get divided by news or government people. Seriously. Respect that some people may wear a mask, some people may not. Don't lose friendships over this divide. Please don't. Please don't. If you wear a mask, God bless you. If you don't, I respect that too. I got no other choice because I worked in the medical industry. I got no other choice. But I'm more so against wearing a mask. I only don't wear a mask when I'm outside trying to get air. But if I know I have to wear it, I'm gonna wear it
Right.
because Booker T has said this, and I keep on saying it to myself. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And right now, the game is called the coronavirus. So exercise caution if you have to go out. Otherwise than that, this is Zachary Shiloh's opinion. Please stay home. Please just stay home. If you don't have to go to work or have to do your daily grocery shopping or whatever, just stay home. With that said, I love every single one of you for watching this video. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're just listening in on the audio, please take care of yourselves and each other. And as one Matt Willis from the Visionaries Network would say, and anybody else in real life, we're out of here. Take care. Bye.